Welcome to Whose Review Matters Anyway, the podcast where the show notes are made up and the reviews don't matter, just like American Express. Not accepted everywhere. Ham, do you want to elaborate on that more?
No, because I wasn't sober and you were there, so...
But is that becoming a thing, though, where American Express is literally not getting accepted everywhere?
No. So originally, it wasn't a lot of places. It's become better. I told you, Popeyes didn't take it.
Whoa,
now
Popeyes is our standard right now? Out of all locations, out of somewhere in another country, out of the airport, out of like a fancy mall, you're going to say Popeyes is the standard.
That was the first place I remember, like, we don't take it. I'm like, well, I'm going to do it about my chicken.
Popeyes is too good for them.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, like, American Express will charge Popeyes, and Popeyes already had to, like, go bankrupt.
So, I mean, back in the day, it was either Discover or Popeyes. Or, I could be drunk today. Discover or American Express were one of the two cards that they're like, yeah, we don't take that. It was always Visa and MasterCard.
I think there was even a point, like, even shoe companies, Nike and Adidas, were not taking American Express.
Does David Spade still do the commercials? Do they still do commercials?
All I know is David Spade is going to be at Dr. Phillips September 25th.
But he used to do
Get
the
tickets
he
now.
used to do the American Express.
Well, the original
commercials.
the original one I remember was Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld.
I think American Express...
Remember Jerry Seinfeld doing him?
Was that the gasoline thing? Okay.
Yeah. He was the first one.
I mean, I see a lot of Capital One.
Yeah, with Jennifer Garner.
Because they target budget, like really low tier budget people.
Whoa.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm a Capital One car holder. I'm not ashamed.
Hey, me
I'm
too.
not ashamed.
But I think it's like what American Express was, now it's Capital One.
What's in your wallet?
Shit.
My ID and an American Express card.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live for the. Well, we're live in the sense that we are actually in the same studio.
Yeah, the studio. Yeah, we're in the studio.
Mike's 2026 new Honda Accord Civic.
Yeah, so 2030 hasn't come out yet.
That's nice. That's nice.
That Mike, we a year ago, maybe, that he said that he was getting a new car. It was waitlisted, but never said anything that he actually got the new car.
I mean, it wasn't in the plans. I got into a fucking car accident.
But you know what's weird? I think we've been in this car already, haven't we?
I don't think
Haven't
so.
we recorded in this
We've
car?
been in your car,
my old car.
Your old car.
Yeah,
okay.
we've been in your car too.
Like, this is my old car, but it's like an updated
Studio.
version.
We gotta say extra studio.
Oh,
It's our new
studio.
studio.
You know what? though?
Updated.
This might be nicer than a studio.
I pay a very high monthly fees.
Hey,
Got a good
listeners.
sound system.
Sound system.
Hey, listeners. Let's see who's more drunk. I don't know.
Plus, we were at a restaurant, a low tier dining establishment.
Yeah, the bottom tier,
And
motherfucker.
everyone except for Mike has been drinking. So if we sound a little
I
off,
didn't
it's
drink
mostly
anything.
Ham's fault. But we got a multitude of things to talk about. So we got the D23 stuff that we're gonna bring up. We're gonna bring a few things here and there that might interest us. I don't know.
I can only roll a D20, man. I don't know about D23.
Okay, Dungeons and Dragons here. Did you guys actually look at all the announcements for it?
I think
I
I
think so.
Okay, you guys
I
got
think
you guys
so.
got to take out your phones and start like fact checking us and all the stuff
I
that
think
comes
so.
up.
Throw them out there.
So we got D23 stuff to talk about just a little bit. And then our main topic is actually Pinocchio. We're gonna do it early on because I'm gonna jump the gun here and just assume there's not a whole lot to say about Pinocchio. I'm sure whatever we got to say will have some sort of weight to it, but in the grand scheme of things,
no.
I think it does, but I think in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot to say about it.
Also, Aaron watched Pinocchio with me, so...
We'll take care of that first, and then we're going to end the stuff with some video game stuff, because I ended up watching the majority, if not all, of the new video game news that has come up the last week and a half. There was a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, let us know.
There was a Ubisoft Forward. There was a State of Play PlayStation. There was also the Tokyo Game Showcase.
Can I ask?
I don't know about the Tokyo stuff, but I mostly watched the Xbox stuff because I was curious if they were going to announce anything for Games Pass. But what's your question?
What's with all the things you watch? How long was that? Minutes, hours wise?
The Nintendo Direct was like 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The State of Play, I want to say, is almost around the same time. Let's say 40 minutes. The Ubisoft Forward, I want to say, was an hour.
So let's average 4 hours, maybe.
Yeah, what 3 to 4 hours we will say 3 to 4 hours.
All right, I'll take that.
Yeah, so I would say mostly 90% not really a lot.
4 hours that could have been
not a lot of
maybe-
big hits,
yeah.
but some of the hits that did stand out were kind of substantial. So we'll get there.
But you're
All
saying
right.
4 hours that could have been maybe 2 hours.
Sure, you could have put it as a pitch meeting trailer. I don't know. All right, so D23. Let's talk about that. We'll start with this first because there was a lot of things that were announced at D23 over like the 4 days. I think it was 4 days that it was.
I think so.
Yeah.
It was like
At least 3.
four or 5 days. Yeah. Marvel, obviously mobile games and just video games in general. Star Wars. Some of their Disney original stuff. Let's start with what you guys saw. Was there any one thing in particular that really stood out to you that was like, I'm going to want to watch this for sure? And we'll start with him because I think we already know his answer. Ham, what is the one thing that stuck out to you for D23?
Willow!
I never watched the trailer. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, the first trailer, I was like, interesting. This trailer, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Willow is my jam. It's always been my jam. Matt Mortigan, fucking Willow. I'm sure they don't have, because Matt Mortigan was played by, what's his name, in Top Gun, and he's not doing well. So, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that Willow.
Yes, exactly. And he played a young character when he did Willow originally. When he was 18, so he's yeah.
Yeah, but CGI and shit.
But Willow was literally a random fantasy from George Lucas, I believe, or somehow.
I think it definitely falls under the category of cult classic.
I believe so. I agree
It's
on
not
that.
like especially Mike. Mike doesn't even know who the fuck Willow is.
No, I
besides the
never heard
tree.
of it.
So
Also,
like,
speaking of cult classic, remember when we saw Red Tails? Anybody know that?
who? No, I don't know.
George Lucas. It was the fighter pilots.
Yes, I know Red Tails.
Oh, you know Red Tails?
Yeah, of course.
You watched it? African American fighter pilots.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yeah. You don't
I
even
never
remember.
watched it, but I know what
I
you're talking
watched it
about.
with you, I swear.
No,
I swear.
maybe I don't know. Okay, so
But
Willow. When does
looks
it come out?
Way better. I don't remember. Hopefully soon.
know,
This year, I
fuck,
believe. But it's got a lot of old characters in it and a lot of new characters. And one of the taglines like, "How are you gonna defeat us?" And he was like I did before, with my friends. So fucking Willow.
Power of friendship.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Mike. Any one thing in particular that stood out to you in D23?
I'm trying to get the list because there was a.
You don't know shit, man.
All right, so I'll start with Marvel.
Just no one thing. You have to name
One
one
favorite
that stood
thing.
out to you the most.
One thing. Oh fuck.
He don't know.
Oh, Werewolf by Midnight.
All right, that looked interesting.
Because like I am a horror fan and
You're a horror fan, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a whore. You know, I like scary shit, and I like that they're doing this, and it was like out of the fucking blue, and it comes out next month.
Yeah, it was
It was like,
a
what?
70s, 80s classic kind of vibe,
I don't
black
even know.
and
I would
white.
say even later, maybe.
What's funny and what's interesting is that Werewolf by Night is a comic book series line that's where Moon Knight first appeared. Was Werewolf by Night. I don't remember the exact issue, but that was the title that he first appeared in before he got his actual run. So I'm curious, since you brought that up, I'm curious if it has any tie-ins to Moon Knight.
Maybe.
Or maybe they're going to get the Midnight Suns.
Because I don't know about that. I just refuse to believe that this is going to be a one-time ordeal that doesn't connect with anything. I don't think that's going to be the case. I'm sure it has to have a connection somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, I think it's cheesy on purpose, but hopefully it does.
I don't
What do you
think it's going to connect. But
I
I
don't
think
think so
they're
either.
going to just do like a click, like a, I don't know, like
Have like a poster
Its
or like
own
a
story.
little thing. Maybe like have a poster of Moon Knight or like a little homage or Easter egg.
It would be
of
funny if,
Moonlight.
like, at the last episode, there's a post-credit scene where you see Mark Spector.
Yeah, like, maybe
shit.
like a flash, and then he like disappears, and you're like, was he there? Was he not there? I don't know. But I think it's cheesy enough that it would work, but I don't know if you're saying it's based off something, maybe too cheesy for people who actually read it.
For me, I don't know if there was really anything that stood out to me as like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing ever.
But you're talking about specifically Marvel?
No, just anything D23.
Yeah.
Not even Secret Invasion?
Not even that. The trailer. So okay, let's go through the Marvel stuff really quick.
Real quick,
that.
So my cousin actually read the Secret Invasion. And he's
Your cousin Vinny?
yeah, my cousin Kiki. But he's like, oh, it's not.
It definitely doesn't have.
Yeah.
So the original comic book storyline of Secret Invasion was that the Skrulls were basically mimicking the superheroes, and they were actually capturing the superheroes, trapping them, and then they would be the superheroes themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And then they eventually get uncovered, and it's a whole invasion, and that everyone has to stop them. This one doesn't seem to be the case, but it's still a similar concept where they're taking place as like maybe mafia or cartel or something like that.
Espionage.
Yeah,
sort
and
of.
that. And who knows if there's something bigger in play. What I find interesting about this series is that from the trailer, it seems to take itself more seriously than all the other shows we've watched so far.
I think so.
It
Yeah,
kind
I
of
agree.
gave me Winter Soldier.
So
vibes.
for me, this is gonna be like
Almost like a Mission Impossible.
this is gonna determine how I view Marvel series moving forward. Because if this becomes a
It's
joke,
Samuel Jackson.
like if this becomes like we're gonna do some slapstick
I
comedy
don't
every
think
now
so.
and then, just
I don't
like
think so.
like how She-Hulk, Moon Knight, or what's another series that we've been that Marvel has Loki maybe. If they start doing this comedy shit again, then I feel like they just gave up on the serious stuff, and then that's all they're going with, which is a shame
I think
because
Disney Plus has been doing more on their shows.
But you look at Falcon and Winter Soldier, and their
I wouldn't
comedy
say that
is
one.
not
I
like
wouldn't say that
it's
one.
not like we're gonna go all out comedy. It's
But
like
I'll
we're gonna be
argue
subtle about a comedy.
I'll argue
Yeah.
with Baron Nevo, whatever his name again. But
That was one
I'll
thing,
stop.
but
I'll
I feel like
stop.
that's gonna come
I'll
up in
stop.
another conversation.
Yeah.
But
No, but even that though, like WandaVision, even though there was comedy, it did take itself seriously. Loki as
More
well.
at the end.
More at the end, and so did Loki towards more in the end as well.
Yeah, but also Loki seemed like a more comedic character than the original.
well, hold on. So transitioning something else really
go
quick
ahead.
because with Marvel, and we did have a little bit of a conversation off the air here. This kind of seemed, for me personally, this was a little bit of underwhelming announcements as far as Marvel goes. Cool,
Yeah,
we got Secret Invasion trailer. Cool, they re-announced Armored Wars and that Don Cheadle was going to be in it, which we already knew like 2 years ago, which I don't understand why that's such a big fucking deal. Daredevil, was that D23 or was that...
No, they
I think it was
announced
before.
at
I think it was
Comic-Con.
Okay, yeah, they already announced that. So there's like...
They didn't even show a trailer.
There-
I think they
there
showed.
is-
But explain why.
There is nothing new or like anything that stood out. It was like that you topped Comic-Con,
But
which is weird
yeah.
because at Comic-Con they said, "Oh, we're holding off our bigger announcements for D23." So my hype going into D23 was like, "Oh, I want to see Phase 6. I want to see the Fantastic Four cast. I want to see all this."
I want to
was
see
hoping-
Phase 9, man.
I was hoping for Punisher, Blade. What was it?
Blade would make sense. They did
Ghost
not
Rider?
talk about Punisher,
Ghost
did they?
Rider.
Again, you wanted Midnight Suns.
Yeah.
But like,
Blade is the only one that makes sense.
all they did was expanded on things that they've already announced.
Yeah.
They didn't even touch on Spider-Man, which I felt like if you're
Really?
going to top yourself
Okay,
off,
Spider-Man.
they didn't touch on Spider-Man, the cartoon one, freshman year.
Oh, no. I was... What about... Well, no, that's...
They didn't even expand
That's
on...
Sony.
They didn't
That's
expand on
Sony.
X-Men 92.
Yeah.
So it's like, why redo your
97.
announcements?
Oh, thank
and-
you. That's what I was thinking, and I'm going to question this motherfucker over here.
What?
97?
Yeah, 97.
Oh, did I say
97?
92?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. 97.
I was
97.
like, I'm not going to touch it. I'm
X-Men
gonna touch it.
97, sorry. But the only big announcement, which isn't that big of a deal, it's cool that we know who the team is, was Thunderbolts. Which we got to see was the Red Guardian,
Yeah.
was Taskmaster,
Yes.
Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp. We got, what's her, oh fuck, I already forgot her name.
Yeah.
Selena?
Yelena.
Yelena. And then I'm saving the last
we had
one.
Bucky.
Bucky was
Well,
the last
what
one that
about
was
the Red,
introduced.
The Red Guard? No,
I already said the Red Guardian.
Oh,
Agent. U.S. Agent.
yeah.
U.S. agent, right? So that's the team.
Agent
Okay,
Orange Chicken.
cool. That
confused by two of them. Taskmaster and Ghost.
God, social media is a thing, right?
Oh,
so
I think I've seen
a lot
some
of
of that.
people are hating are hating this thing because like the comments are mostly saying like, oh, they never read a comic book, like they don't know what Thunderbolts. I'm like, have you fucking read the Thunderbolts? Because throughout the years, the team of Thunderbolts have drastically changed.
Also,
it's never the same team.
Original
over and over
Avengers.
again.
That was not original.
Yeah, exactly,
Avengers
and
team.
that's
So I'm
what
like,
people are counter arguing.
fuck
It's like,
outta here.
why are you saying this shit when you never even read a comic book? Because Thunderbolts is not. I think what everyone wanted to see was the Red Hulk,
Yes.
which would have been
Yes.
fucking cool.
Yes.
And who knows if maybe the Red Hulk could still be in it? We don't know. They might be saving that.
Thunderbolts
But
too.
the Thunderbolts is just a myriad of like these. I don't know if you want to call them anti-heroes, but just like.
They're Suicide Squad.
That makes sense,
Sure,
man.
I was gonna say like Marvel's version of Suicide Squad almost to an extent.
But more friendlier.
Yeah,
I'm saying
Yeah.
anti-heroes. I'm sticking with anti-heroes.
So it's
Yeah.
just that, but that was their biggest thing. I felt like there was nothing else.
There was nothing else. And then, for Marvel at least, there was nothing. Well, Captain America 4, they announced that.
Actually, no. That stands out to me. I'm sorry. Wow, I'm such an asshole.
Oh, that's your number one?
No, well, not that it's Captain America because I'm all for Sam Wilson being Captain America, but Samuel Stern is coming back, who is the leader from the Incredible Hulk. So that's
I
the
did see
scientist
that.
guy.
I did see that.
Which
I'm like,
is so bizarre because now they're retconning themselves because there was a comic book series, an Avengers comic book series that was supposed to be like a movie prequel or something that showed that base that gets blown up at the beginning of Avengers, Samuel Stearns was in there. And
That's the funny thing. Never saw it, but you did, and you were like, oh, that was like...
So he goes down with the whole fucking thing. So I'm
that's-
thinking he's dead, but
Yeah.
whatever. I just think it's really cool that they're acknowledging, again, this goes back to our conversation
Yeah,
about the
to the
Hulk,
Hulk.
where they're acknowledging that the Incredible Hulk is part of their canon. And so this proves even more that because
Yeah,
we're bringing back a character from the Incredible Hulk.
But I think they have to lightly tread because they still can't use them.
No, deleted it can.
I'm saying they can't use him as an original movie. He can't be the main character.
So that's the
they're
thing that stood out to me the
slowly-
most.
They're slowly introducing canon of Hulk
Yeah, but the thing is that
until they can own it and show him live.
Right, and I think we did talk about that last
Yeah.
time.
I mean, this is going to be a stupid question. I know Universal has
Cheese.
complete Hulk, like completely, like they own the rights of the Incredible Hulk,
Movie-wise.
Movie wise. But does that include like the side characters as well, like She-Hulk and Red Hulk?
I don't think it
Well, no,
does.
because
I don't think it
She-Hulk
does.
is on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so it's just
Red Hulk?
It's just
I don't
literally
know.
Hulk.
Oh, so they're
But-
gonna probably put Hulk, Incredible Hulk, on the side, and they're gonna probably focus on, unfortunately, She-Hulk.
I think what they're
And
doing,
Red Hulk.
and I think we maybe slightly touched on this on whenever we talked about She-Hulk, was that they're setting up things for Hulk storylines
Because they can't
and then
use
once
Yeah.
Universal,
Yeah.
their deal ends, and because it's soon, it's really soon.
It's very- I think
Marvel
they
is
said
going full
2020
forward with like now we can do Hulk
2024,
movies the way we want it to be.
2025?
Maybe something like that.
I think I saw that somewhere.
So that was actually the biggest deal for me. It was like, okay, that's really cool, and it's in one of my favorite
Yeah.
movies that I want to go see. So I'm looking forward to that.
It'd be cool to see
Other-
just a Hulk movie.
Other D23 stuff. So if we go,
I mean,
I'm going to touch on the game stuff a little bit. Their games apparently like really flopped their presentation. I never watched it, but people were excited about the World War II Black Panther Captain America game that's coming out, but they didn't really show much of it. They didn't show any gameplay of it. And that they announced like a trading card game too that people are getting really hyped
thanks.
about. But I think that's going to be more of like, oh, I'm collecting it just because it's my characters, and plus I probably can sell this for more money on a third market. Which,
Physical, not digital?
and I think
no, it's
they
an
also
actual
too-
physical card game.
Oh, shit. I thought
I
digital.
know I mentioned this group Midnight Suns, but there also is another game called Midnight Suns. I think they showed it.
Oh, they did show more of it in there?
Yeah, I think so, but it just
Okay.
got delayed for next year.
As far as original series, the only thing that stood out to me that I just remember was
Besides
Santa Claus. We got Bernard back.
oh yeah, what did you see also
I don't
too?
care.
Peter Jackson?
What about Peter Jackson?
A series is coming out.
Oh, Percy Jackson, you mean?
Oh, Percy Jackson.
I was like, Peter Jackson, what, Lord of the Rings on
Percy
Disney Plus?
Jackson, the Poseidon shit.
My bad,
Yes,
my bad. The
which the
Poseidon
trailer,
shit.
I mean, it was there wasn't a lot they showed, but it looked
Did you
very
see
much
both
like
of
the
them?
movie. And yeah, I did. It very much looked
I
like
can
with
see
the
one of
movie,
them.
but it just looks more promising because it just felt like it was gonna be more action packed than the movies were.
Yeah. I think I saw two of them in a hotel waiting to do something. Like, I was not even somewhere, but I'm like, okay, I'll
And I
watch
think they
this.
showed a trailer of National Treasure.
Now, they showed another National Treasure movie, which I'm surprised they didn't show the funny guy in the trailer, because I feel like that would be a good selling point, because they did say that he was coming back.
Yeah.
I know his name.
I don't remember him.
I don't remember him, but yeah.
They announced animated stuff, and they announced live action stuff. As far as the animated stuff goes, there was like a lot of Pixar announcements, more than I thought. It was like, the only one that stood out to me that I remember the title was Elementals, but there was a couple other Pixar things where I'm like, how many of these are shorts and how many of these are actual full length movies? Because it just kind of seems surprising that they're punching these out like so fast. And then we're not sure if, like, because they announced Mufasa. It's supposed to be a prequel.
Don't know why.
It's called Mufasa, man. That's why.
So this goes to your argument, Ham. Oh, Disney doesn't have original content. I think what Disney Plus allows them to do is to go back to these movies and go, well, we can make original content of characters that we didn't really delve into.
I'll talk about that later.
But it just seems like they're just going to rehash content that we've seen before. So I don't...
spoilers are where he dies.
Right? Again, it's like one of those things where we know the ending. It's going to be like an Obi-Wan Kenobi situation.
Yeah.
We know the ending, but can you make his life interesting up until that point? I didn't think
Obi-Wan
was a great series, but, it happened. So we'll see how Mufasa plays out. But I think the biggest conversation that came out of D23, and is still a conversation to this day, is the Little Mermaid trailer, which we have known for at least a year. At least a year that Little Mermaid, that Ariel, was going to be played by a black girl.
What?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Which, now that the trailer is out, everyone's comparing it to the original trailer for the original animated movie, whatever. But people are flipping their shit over the fact that, like, why you gotta change the color of the character? Why you gotta do that? And I'll just say what I think about it. Who gives a fuck? Like, Ariel was never really casted or supposed to be a white person. And it is if you want to say, oh, you're just repeating everything what social media says, but it's fucking true. It's a fictional fucking character. No one, like, there's no lore that says that this mermaid is a fucking white character. Like, it doesn't this could have been an Asian chick for all I care. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter. So,
yeah,
I think people are just really, I don't know, they're just looking to complain about something. And this is what they're gonna harp on for a while, which is so dumb. But
it's stupid. It's stupid. Okay, like I kind of fucking hate Disney for this though, but because the thing is that anybody who I think Disney did this shit on purpose, because if the movie comes out and if it's bad, the first thing when somebody asks you, oh, what do you think about the Little Mermaid? Oh, it's a bad movie. Why? Because she's black. And that's fucking. It's gonna be such a huge argument, So, like, what happens... And another thing is that, okay, so, like, now these days, because back then there was nothing but white princesses. Now that we're getting a lot more different culture princesses, now we have a black princess, where is the princess the Princess and the Frog. And eventually that's going to be a live action.
Well, you have Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking
Moana, because she's also considered in that same category.
Well, no, if you're talking about African American, I'm saying that's one.
And stuff like that. So, like, people are going to say the argument, like, well, what happened if you make Princess and the Frog a live action movie, but it's a white girl instead of a black girl?
I'm curious how many people gave Michael Clark Duncan shit for playing Kingpin. Because I
don't remember.
I thought he played a great Kingpin.
I don't remember anything
I liked
about
his Kingpin.
No, I'm saying I don't remember any backlash.
But we also didn't have social media like that back then.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of the thing.
Well, so far I didn't hear anybody complain about his Kingpin, because the thing is, like, I enjoyed that Kingpin instead of the one that we got for Daredevil.
I remember people.
That's my boy.
I remember people complain about Michael B. Jordan playing Human Torch when he was casted from Fantastic Four.
Yeah, but it was Fantastic Four, man.
But it wasn't because of him. It was because of the movie.
Really?
Yeah, because
I'm just saying because of the movie. The movie was bad, but I don't think he was like he was fine. I didn't have any issues with him.
People were complaining that he was playing the Human Torch. I just thought it was funny. It was just like, well, he's playing Human Torch. he's on fire, and like.
What? Well, no. Finish that shit right now.
No, like
Some
I'm not trying to
crispy
be.
tenders are going on in here.
But that's the thing, though.
He's drunk.
No, but that's the thing. Fucking Hollywood sets up these fucking things. I don't care. I love Michael B. Jordan.
God, I wish I could remember an example. I feel like we talked about one before, but like I don't care about the racial swap.
No, I don't care
as long
either.
as long as like it's a character that you're not forcing it in my face that it's all about the character swap. Like, but God, this is such a tricky thing to say because, like, if we take, for instance, Captain America, for example, Sam Wilson stepping into Captain America, you're putting a black character just because, like, no, that's a fucking actual legitimate thing. Is it really about being white or is it about being American? Like, it doesn't matter who the race is because America stands for all races anyway. Yeah. So this is a big deal to talk about. And that's why I love this series so much. Why I gave it my gold card is because it tackled that issue of like, I'm a fucking black guy that's playing the role of an American hero.
Right. That's why he didn't want to take it.
And he didn't want to take it at first. And I'm like, yeah, that's a real fucking thing. And so I give it a lot of props for that, for even addressing that. But to racially swap someone just because you're trying to make a political movement, I think it comes obvious if you're trying to do that. What's another one that's like Halo? We're gonna take Halo for example. You racial swapped Sergeant Keys. Keys. That didn't bother me. Like I'll take this back. Keys is always to me as a white guy, but his character doesn't have to be played by a white guy.
But also, I think it's
the Keys that we had in the series was actually a decent Keys.
I think it's because I'm not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it. But I didn't care about Keys. Like Sergeant Johnson. If Sergeant Johnson is Sergeant Johnson, if you have the same energy, yeah. But Sergeant Johnson,
because it comes to this point where there are certain races that play a particular stereotype, and they continue to play their certain stereotype. Not that it's negative, but it's just like there's character, their personality. I'll say this right now: there's a person I work with who is at a higher level than I am. And he's a black guy, and he's funny as hell. And I couldn't imagine anyone else playing like him. Like I like his attitude, I like the way he is, and I can't think of like a white person being the same way because it just wouldn't work out the same way. The way that he makes their jokes and everything. Yeah, like if they play the personality, I don't think it gives a fucking like. I don't think it matters at all what race they are.
But you have to think about generation wise. I'm not saying generation wise. It's like. When did the original Little Mermaid come out?
Yeah.
1990.
Ooh,
no.
I think it was a little earlier than
no.
that.
It had to be like
Someone fact check.
1990.
Check that shit.
But I don't know.
Also, that is over 30 years.
Although,
let's say 1990.
To maybe play, I don't know, this is playing devil's advocate or just looking at the other perspective. I could argue that there are 1989, yeah. So 1 year. I could argue that there are certain characters that you should not racially swap, because if you do, then it looks like you are just making a political movement. So like, again, going back to the Captain America example, if they did, a black person as Captain America right from the beginning, whoa. Now that is legitimately a actual political agenda that you're trying to push. Like you're trying to say something else, because when comics were first created, it was mostly white characters. Like I'm
only gonna say it doesn't make any sense because of the timeline.
So, and this is what I was going to lead to end this conversation.
Do it.
I think people, for whatever reason, can't accept the past and doesn't see growth from the past.
Yeah.
We all made fucking stupid mistakes in the past.
Never.
We all said stupid, dumb shit that was probably racist.
Never.
Or implied prejudice of some extent. But we were not educated. We were not, we didn't know any better. We were still learning shit as time went on.
No, Jesus got nothing on me.
Shut up. Nowadays, like I feel like we're a little bit more accepting whether social media wants to believe that or not. I think we are more socially accepting like different races, genders, whatever. This, for whatever reason, because social media is a thing that gives the platform for these smaller groups of people that are arguing against them a
The
louder
louder,
voice.
the smaller,
Yeah.
the louder. Something like that.
The smaller, the louder.
Yeah, something like that.
So it just sucks. I thought the trailer was actually cool. I liked the trailer. I thought she sang beautifully. I was like, yeah, I'm all for this. I'll watch this. Little Mermaid is probably like one of my top favorite Disney movies, and that's because I'm more biased towards marine animals anyway.
Yeah, okay, I
But
can do that one.
yeah, I wouldn't watch it. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm watching it. I'm not looking forward to it. I don't know. Oh, so
I think out of all the live action Disney movies, this is definitely one I'm looking forward to.
is this also straight to Disney Plus or
I don't know.
theaters?
No, in theaters.
Okay.
Like I said, I think Disney did this shit on purpose. Is that like if you're not looking forward to this movie because people think that you're racist,
It's calling them out.
it's calling them out, and it's just like I'm not excited for this movie. It's just because so far I just been let down from all live action movies of Disney.
Right. Okay. So that's a different thing. And
That's
to go on your point, this is
like
this is going to
Aladdin.
be the last thing we need to say about this conversation. But I just
Yeah.
want to say this because I just got to vent it out. If one of the reasons why Disney is doing this to call out the racists, I'm glad. That's fine. Do it then.
Yeah.
Like that you really need to reconsider that. If your only argument of I'm not going to like this Little Mermaid movie because she's a black girl, you really need to heavily reconsider your life choices then, because I don't think you're in the right mindset or right position where the time period where everyone's mentality is right now.
Yeah.
So kudos to if that is their case. That's fine by me.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree with you. I agree with
Two
you.
Alright,
things
speak-
to say.
Again, we got to
real quick,
transition.
real quick,
We're already
real
half
quick.
hour into this.
You might have to cut this out. I liked Aladdin live action, probably one of the only ones. And then I saw a
it's
meme.
okay.
I try to look for it. It's like, oh, how is America surprised that there's a black mermaid after all the slaves got thrown in the water?
That went really dark.
That's the
right
meme I saw. That's the meme I saw. I'm sorry, guys. That was the meme. Somebody was like pushing for the movie. It's like, oh, you guys are surprised? Okay.
If
then.
you want to complain to him about anything he said,
It's a
drunkcop.teacher at
don't complain
gmail.com.
about me.
Is that really a meme going around?
Yeah, try to look for it.
All right.
Again. I'll look for it. I'll show you.
Speaking of memes, let's
Couldn't
talk
find it, though.
about our main movie topic, which is Pinocchio, the live action
And last
re-
podcast.
the live action
no.
remake of the classic animated movie. Tom Hanks is in there. Who else is in
Joseph
that?
Gordon-Levitt.
What
Yeah,
does he play?
No, I had to look it
Jiminy
up. He's
Cricket.
Gepetto or Jimmy Cricket. I
Oh,
looked
really?
it up. I had to look it up because I'm like, no.
Who is
That
Seth
was
Rogen
him?
in this movie?
As
No.
All right. Well, we're fact checking this right now.
Yeah.
Keith. Yeah, I have. Keenan Peele.
Oh, he was the fox. Yeah.
Michael.
No, you could hear his voice. I was talking to Erin, and I'm like, yeah. She literally was like, "Who is it?" I'm like,
Oh,
"You can't
yeah.
hear it. Like it's actually his voice.
Be
You
careful
can't.
with my porn.
Yeah, you can't. You can't notice that it's not him because it's almost him regular voiced, right?
That's
Mike?
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's
Hold on,
what I thought too.
I gotta.
Hold on, we're just like fact checking something real quick.
You're
I usually
fact
pull up my
checking?
homework,
What the
but
fuck are you
my
doing?
phone is right there. Okay, so
Yeah.
Pinocchio.
Yes, the movie.
Tom Hanks, Cynthia Erivo, which is the fairy.
Wait, Tom Hanks was in it?
I gotta talk about that. Luke Evans was the coachman. I didn't know Luke Evans was
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
no. I looked him up and I'm like, oh, he was in
Benjamin Evan Ainsworth is the voice of Pinocchio, which
I
don't know.
No, but that guy was in
Keegan
Beauty and the
Michael Peele.
Beast. He was what's his name?
Gustav.
yeah,
Yeah.
Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston.
All right. IMDb gives Pinocchio a 5.1 out of 10.
Shit.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 26%.
God damn!
Metacritic gives it a 39%.
Ah.
Now, when Ham tried to advertise this movie and said that there was beer at this event,
They were drinking beer in the fucking carnival bullshit.
what Ham tried to scam people was that he was charging $10 for a glass of root beer, and everyone was pissed. Which is why only 61% of this people like this movie.
Yeah, because I said it was beer and that shit root beer. Sorry, guys.
Because you drank all the beer already at that
I
point.
ran out.
Yeah.
Man.
I don't. Gosh.
don't even know what the fuck you're doing right now.
It's just... All right, I guess we'll go into cards. We'll backtrack as to what we liked and didn't like about the movie, as we usually do. I'm hoping this will only take about 6 to 10 minutes, but we'll see where this goes. Starting with Mike, what card are you going to give Pinocchio?
You're going to be surprised. I'm going to give this a yellow card.
Yellow card? Okay. Ham?
I'm going to give this a yellow card.
I think I'm going to give this the Becky card.
Becky card?
Maybe.
Really? You never gave you a Becky card?
I don't think so. Okay.
No, you did.
Maybe I did.
The Requiem or whatever. The shark one.
The shark one, yeah. All right, I'll give it a red. Shit. Okay, I'll give it a red. I just thought about that movie again. I'm like, okay, good. Red card, yes.
God.
You give it a green. I'm fucking driving this car off a cliff.
Agree. No.
Not my brand new car.
I'm going to give it a yellow. I'm going to go with Mike on this one and give it a yellow. Yeah.
I'll give it a yellow.
So, hold on. My first question is this before I go into my likes and dislikes. My first question is this.
Yeah.
When was the last time any of y'all see the animated?
Forever ago. Forever for me. I don't remember the last time I watched it.
To be honest with you, I feel like I saw the Avengers of Pinocchio more than the actual Pinocchio movie.
So, Pinocchio, it's not like a top favorite Disney movie of mine, but for some reason my mom always had it on TV. Is like this and Little Mermaid were always her two movies that she always put on. And I vividly remember a lot about Pinocchio just because it was always on in the background. I always ended up watching it. Like, I knew the story very well. I had the doll. My mom got me the actual toy of Pinocchio.
With strings?
No strings.
No strings
that cost
on
extra.
me.
Yeah, so, like, I'm not like a fan of Pinocchio. I'm not like, I know everything about Pinocchio, but I feel like I understand Pinocchio to an extent. And watching this live action movie, there was a lot, like, the whole movie, I could not go, like, 2 minutes without, like, oh, I remember that in the animated movie. Oh, this is exactly how they did in the animated movie. That's exactly how it looked like in the animated movie. I felt like this was almost a 1-for-1 of the animated movie from whatever year that came out in. And it was very nostalgic for me. Yes, obviously a lot of things did change. Like, for instance, the whole donkey scene where, like, the fucking ghosts were, like, coming after them. That was totally, like, out of the blue. The whale looked different. Monstro looked different.
It was a monster, yes.
Yeah.
The girl with the marionette and everything,
She was not in that shit.
Yeah, that was added in. But just...
Is she famous? Who's that?
Oh, I actually don't know off the top of my head.
Mike.
But everything else just felt like, yeah, this is Pinocchio. The music, the style. But what was weird to me...
Oh, tell me.
It's just almost felt like there were certain times where I was like, is this a horror movie?
Yeah, that's what I said.
This was
no
fucking
joke.
A little bit creepy as hell.
All right,
like,
thank you. I was like, they should make a horror movie version of it.
Like, I felt in
Like Winnie the Pooh.
Let's not get into that.
Next episode.
I felt like the animated version was only better because it didn't give off horror, creepy vibes to it. This one, because we've had Chucky, because we had Annabelle, because we had so many fucking movies that ended up being like horror movies about these toys or dolls that would go around and kill people. I think it kind of ruined Pinocchio to be a live action film.
Maybe.
But that didn't really throw off my enjoyment for the movie. I kind of felt like it made it a little bit more interesting at times. I kind of did like the ghost ghast vibes thing that was happening at Pleasure Island. Like, it was different, and I was all for it.
You just said Pleasure Island. Is that what they based off?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what that's
I was like,
about.
wait a minute.
But the one thing that really stood out to me, and this is such a minor thing, Tom Hanks as Gepetto, his accent, he couldn't keep it consistent. Like, he was Gepetto for a couple minutes, and then he was just Tom Hanks for a couple minutes, and I'm like...
Especially towards the end.
Like, I don't know if it's just, you just had a bad voice day, or just, like, they didn't know how to write your lines, and just... Like, it was just so inconsistent where it was like, I don't know if I'm watching Pinocchio or like fucking what Castaway at this point.
Yeah, Aaron made a joke about then a volleyball comes up and it's like, oh, okay.
I was waiting for a volleyball, like,
oh god.
but I didn't hate the movie. There was nothing for me that was like, oh, this is awful. I was like, yeah, this is fine. It's okay. Would I rewatch this? No, which is why I can't give it my green card. This is not something I would put on the background, not at all. But I don't think it was as awful. Like, there's a lot of people hating it, and I don't know exactly why. I didn't read those comments as to why people hate it. But I think it's just fine. I think it's okay. It gets my yellow, and it's something. It's a movie that you probably only need to see once, and that's it. That's all. That's where you stop it.
Yeah.
Ham, likes, dislikes.
Well, start off with the dislikes. I watched it with Aaron, and we watched it. And like every joke that did not land, I just looked at her and I'm like, was that creepy? I think that was creepy. Like, why? Okay, let's keep watching. What the fuck was that? Like another one. And I'm like, this is so weird. And I told her when Pinocchio like turns his neck around, it's like click, 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 and I'm like, oh no, what is he gonna do? And I'll jump forward. I didn't like when I usually like what's his name, who was the fox, but he was using the same like tone, and like that also was bad. Him and the cat, I think. I'm like, that's also creepy. Okay, cool. And then when we get to Pleasure Island, it's like the whatever,
It was dark as shit.
Dante's Inferno, the 7 rings of hell or whatever, levels of hell, and I'm like, yo, this is creepy. I don't remember this shit. What the fuck is going on?
Especially Pleasure Island when they were eating and shit.
The guy gives him the root beer, and he just goes slowly back in his thing.
Yeah, I'm like, and then I even asked her, I'm like, who's running this thing? Like, is it the one guy running all the rides? I'm like, who's paying for this shit? Like, cool, they have it just, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, they're turning them into donkeys to sell them, but how much does this shit cost? Like, they have fireworks and candy rides, and I'm like, yeah, this is too ostentatious, maybe? Is that the word? But it didn't make any sense to me. That the visual's cool, but also the other kid and it didn't feel right. Again, they changed the whale into a fucking monster. Why?
Why not? What's wrong with that?
I want to.
Okay, Aqua motherfucker.
I do want to say this though. When the book in 1893, that's when Pinocchio book came out.
The Tales. The
Pinocchio Tales.
Yeah,
it was a sea monster.
Okay, so they brought it back.
I could have sworn in the animated movie they also referred to him as a sea monster.
I swear,
even though it was a black whale, but it was a sea monster.
So it did when we were talking about the Tales and how it originally. I don't know. For this one, it felt more fragmented, where it's like, okay, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is that. It's not as cohesive, but like I said, I haven't seen the original in a while. I saw the Jonathan Taylor's Thomas one.
Oh God, I almost forgot about that one.
I've seen that more recently than the actual original.
Pinocchio, right?
Yeah, Pinocchio, yeah.
The Adventures of Pinocchio, yeah.
But CGI cats, CGI fish. Also, that's what I'm thinking of. That Disney in your face shit, that was a lot, I think.
Oh, the clocks?
Oh, the clocks?
Yeah, I'm like,
that's whatever.
Cool, but
you like the Roger,
no.
You know you want that Roger Rabbit clock.
Maybe the drunk guy won't, but I was just like, that's a cool Easter egg, but that's not an Easter egg because it's in your fucking face. Literally popping.
So you're saying if it was just one clock, that would have been better?
Maybe like if it like scanned across and you could be like, they did that at first. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Is that the sister from Cinderella or whatever? And I'm like, okay. But then it's like literally popping in your face. If this 3D, I might have been scarred. But the ending, do I care if he did turn into Real Boy or not? Not really. Let it for the viewer to decide, but that's a choice. And then in the end, I'm like, is the Blue Fairy magic? Is Pinocchio magic? Because there's a lot of weird magic rules that I still didn't understand. I'm like, why did he turn back into Pinocchio, not a donkey? because he's magic? Or
The only thing I
rules are
questioned
magic?
was why didn't he just swim out to Geppetto? Because he obviously swam all the way back from
Oh,
Pleasure Island.
yeah. Aaron
And
said
I'm
the
like,
same thing.
Why do you need a bird?
Yeah,
like,
Aaron
you
said the
just did
same.
this. Like, not
He
too
could
long
swim
ago.
faster than that fucking bird. I'm like, yeah, I don't get that either. So, for me, I think there's a lot of, was it not loopholes, or I guess
Just nitpicks?
no loopholes, whatever you want to, not loopholes.
Inconsistencies?
That I'm like, why can you not do this and do that? It just took me out of the movie. I kept just turning at Aaron. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? So,
All right. Mike?
Oh, one
Oh.
more thing. Sorry. Oh, the animals talk. I'm like, some animals can talk, some can't. Like, they turn into donkeys. What can't they? You know, Jiminy Cricket can. That bird talked to Jiminy Cricket, but not Geppetto. The cat and the fox can talk, but to Pinocchio, but not. So that also, I didn't like that.
All right, Mike.
So my stance with Pinocchio with the animated version was that it was the same thing with Sal. It was always in the background for me while growing up. For some reason, my mom always put it on for me. So I don't have a connection with the movie because I know it's definitely not my favorite Disney movie. I feel like it's just like one of those movies that everybody just knows because it's a classic.
And I have a question at the end.
So going into this movie, I didn't have any high expectations for it. I didn't think like it was going to connect me into the story of Pinocchio. And if this movie was trying to connect and bring in new fans, I think this movie does fail in that. The things that I did like about the movie, I know you mentioned about Tom Hanks' accent. Yeah, the accent was pretty bad. But I do remember that they never ever talked about the story of Gepetto. They never ever mentioned about, him being a widow.
2026. I'm sure. I feel like, just like how we got Mufasa, I feel like there's going to be a Geppetto movie coming.
Oh, man. I hope it does. I mean, okay, like, I like the beginning of this movie. You see this man of,
Get a little bit more of, I understand
you
that.
see a man, like, just creating this puppet and him singing a song, and you kind of feel the emotions of him, is that, like, he lost his wife, he lost his son. And the thing is, like, I feel like if there is, like, a definition, or if there's, like, a person of just, like, enjoying life to the fullest, I feel like Geppetto is that person. He accepts anything of any outcome, even though he's broken and sad, but he still tries to find some positivity, and he'll take whatever comes to him and treasure it. And that's what I liked about this Gepetto a lot. I really did like Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like, was
Yeah, we didn't.
like, I can't believe that was him.
I think it was a standout in this movie.
Yeah, for sure. I liked him a lot.
I agree.
I liked him a lot, and for sure, I really did like the Blue Fairy in this movie.
It was short. I
was like, there's nothing for me to say, like, oh, this is amazing.
Because in
So
the
I had,
original
like-
movie, they come back though, right?
Yeah, she comes.
Yeah, at the end.
Which we didn't see that.
So this is the problem that I have with what I like the Blue Fairy, but I have a problem of how they did with her. I did like she sang "Beautiful" with "Wish Upon a Stars." I do like that song a lot. But the thing is, I fucking hate is that, of course, there was another, like, race
Yeah.
race change.
I think I know where you're going with this, yeah.
What? I didn't hear this on the internet at all.
We thought she was blue this whole time.
That's why I said Blue Fairy. I feel like if you're gonna change the race of the character, and you're gonna bring that character into the movie, you have to expand her.
Yeah.
And they only did one scene of her.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's a good point.
So,
yeah.
like, you, like, fucked yourself over with that. Like, if you're trying to be like, we're going to change her race, we're going to, like, we're going to make her sing a beautiful song and everything like that, check. But we're not going to expand her in the whole entire story.
I would almost argue, and
What?
that could be an example of what I was trying to say earlier, of, like, you just racially changed a character just because you're trying to make a statement.
Yeah, and it's stupid. Like, you shouldn't do that. You should just go along with it.
I agree.
And I feel like if she was more in the movie, I feel like it would have been a huge deal. Like, a positive way. And I wanted that because I thought she was going to show up when Pinocchio was stuck in that cage. you know. And of course, like, I think what Pinocchio, him lying and getting his key, was like, was that a message of like, yeah, you should lie because you'll get your way?
Yeah, I feel like it was more impactful in the animated movie, his line and his nose growing, than it was in here. It was like,
yeah, I was
it almost
waiting.
seemed like a
I was
gimmick.
waiting. I was waiting. Like, when does it actually happen?
Because
are they gonna actually do it? Because I don't remember.
Because the person
in the animated movie.
Yeah, because in the animated version, the blue fairy frees Pinocchio from the cage. She like, oh, you know,
Really?
yeah. And I was just like, why isn't she not here? This would be another impactful statement for her to be in here. And like, I liked it. I liked the blue fairy, and they just did like a political statement, and it's fucking stupid.
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
And this is what it seems like. The whole entire movie, honestly, it's so, like, you guys mentioned, it is creepy as fuck. And there was really nothing for me to like get invested with any of the characters. Pinocchio CGI was pretty bad for me from beginning to end.
I don't think it was that bad.
Towards the end, it was bad. I mean, for at least him crying, like when it was like super close, it was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like,
yeah, that did seem like when he was at Pleasure Island. They showed it looked like his face was more wrinkly, which I think in the animated movie they kind of went that same route, but it looked so weird.
It looked really
when
weird
he was trying to be really expressive, and then when he kept zooming in, I'm like, 1 pixel, 2 pixels, 3 pixels. like it was like, don't do this because you're really fucking yourself over right
really
now.
Are.
It wasn't that great.
Yeah. The whole entire movie, honestly, it was just okay. I couldn't really pick anything of just like.
It's almost like I was on my Switch for a second. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it's just like it was like a copy and paste, but they changed certain things. And towards the end of like with Monstro, I was like, okay, it's okay. This is all right.
Yeah.
But the ending, okay, I'm gonna be very dramatic here. The ending really fucking pissed me off.
So a red card then.
The ending, it's not a red card. It was close to a red card because of the ending. I felt like the ending, they did a fucking modern, like a modern take of it.
Interesting.
So, oh god, you're almost making me drop my card now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing
okay,
you say.
All right,
Listen to this guy.
All right, this is what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm going to sound fucked up, but I'm going to defend the story of Pinocchio here. Okay, is that you did not make Pinocchio into a real boy, right? Because Tom Hanks said in a line, he's like, I don't care, no matter what you are a real boy to me.
Okay, so let me real quick. I think you're doing which I might agree, but I'm not going to say it out loud, but I am. You won the game. You get the prize. You get the participation award. Where it's like,
I think it's. I think.
Oh, you think more? Okay.
No,
I mean, I'll let him finish, and you jump.
You want me to say it because I think I know where you're going with this.
So the thing is that I'm going to say, and then if it's not what you think I'm going to say, then you will say it. Is that this story is like over 100 years old. Okay.
Sure.
I don't want fucking your modern take of how society is right now. How society is right now is that no matter what you are, I will love you regardless. Okay. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Pinocchio becomes a real boy. I don't want your modern fucking take on a story that's 100 years old. There's nothing wrong with the story. Okay, sure, you could be whatever you want. That's fine for parents. That's the real world. But this is Pinocchio.
Welcome to the final episode of Drunk Habit Teacher.
You two got canceled. I'm saying myself.
No. Because so the ending to support Mike in this point. When the ending happened, I was confused because I was like, in the animated movie, he becomes a real boy because he showed his worth to kind of earn this reward, this privilege to be a real person.
Yeah.
And in the movie, in this live action one, it was so vague and so open ended, and they even threw the line of like, we don't know if he becomes a real boy, but that doesn't matter because he showed these traits. And I get that, right? This modern day take of, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, Asian, if you're male, female, non-binary. It doesn't matter any of this as long as you portray these quote unquote correct qualities or right qualities. Then yeah, you are this highly moral person. It does seem like this movie was trying to become more political than I think it's trying to lead it on to be. And I hate saying that because when I first initially watched it, I wasn't thinking that all the way through. I will say that I was confused in parts, especially the ending that we're bringing up right now, where I'm like, it made me started questioning, like, was this supposed to be a political thing? And I completely agree with the Blue Fairy. Yeah, don't make it a fucking cameo because, like, oh, just to say you had a black person in there, like, that's not the right way you should go about that. Like the like, if you're gonna racially swap this character, then yeah, make this character be as relevant in this version of the movie as relevant as it was in the original version of the movie. Don't shortchange it because yeah, now it does seem kind of fishy that you're up to something here. And so, like, yeah, that ending it shouldn't have been like that. Just stick with the original ending. And I feel like you still could have shared that same message. Like,
because the thing is,
like,
is that
they could have said, like, regardless of Pinocchio being a real boy, these traits are what's best in people. And, like, yeah, leave it at that. Pinocchio still became a real boy. That still happened. But you left it open-ended for what? Like, why? Like, what? Again, you know you're trying to send a message, but for what reason are you trying to send that message?
Yeah, like, it's kind of fucking stupid that you copy the animated movie, copy and paste, but then you want to change the ending. It's like, but why? Like,
that's true. Everything was accurate until the end.
So the end. But the thing is that, like, there's nothing wrong with the story of Pinocchio.
Right.
Pinocchio doesn't even bring anything of, like, wrong beings. Like, I know, like,
he killed that guy though.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. How, like, now these days there's the, you know, cancel culture of, like, you know what, back then we didn't know better, and now we're gonna try to fix it. But I feel like Pinocchio doesn't fall in that line. Like, he did all that shit for him to be a real boy, and you're gonna tell me that he doesn't become a real boy because fuck you, that's why. Like, no. His father almost died. Sure, his father, he came back, he brought his father back with the tears of wish or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But wouldn't you be more satisfied? Like, you know what? Like, he's becoming human.
He achieved something.
He achieved something. He did. He achieved something. He's crying.
Yeah.
Puppets don't cry. Mm-hmm. And you're going to tell me, like, oh, he's going to be a puppet, but he does have, like, the heart of a human. He has the tears of a human. He has the belly of hunger like a human. You know, he wants to drink beer or root beer and all that bullshit.
Yeah, because he was doing that. I'm like, yo, he a puppet, man.
You know what I mean? But no, we're not going to make him into a real boy, and use your imagination. Fuck you. For that, I'll just go back to the animated version for it.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I was going to just bring up, so if we're going to finish this, and I already said it, so for the live action, for me, my favorite is Aladdin. How about you guys?
Favorite live action?
Yes. You're like,
I did like
wow,
Cinderella.
I don't think he has one.
I did like Cinderella.
The Little Mermaid trailer?
You haven't seen the movie, so
I don't know. I gotta think. Avengers? Does that count? No, I don't know.
Beauty and the Beast.
I don't know.
Cinderella.
Actually, I do like Beauty and the Beast.
I did like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, I do like Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
Did you see Cinderella?
No.
I like Cinderella and
I
Beauty
feel
and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast, but only because I watch it on a.
All right, are we sticking to yellows still? I'm gonna stick to my yellow because I'm not gonna really like hit it hard for that. Like, yeah, it kind of does suck now thinking back in retrospect, but there was still overall nothing for me to really hate the movie for, and I'm not gonna rewatch it, so that's why it just gets my yellow.
I'm not a big fan of Pinocchio's story as much. That's why, like, I'm giving the yellow. Like, it's not bad, but it's not good. it's okay. Like, I don't think it deserves the hate that that is receiving.
I don't know about hate, but you have to question this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I question every single fucking live action movie that Disney decides to
that's
release.
fair.
And Ham, you're still on a red card.
I'm on a red card, and I want to mention that Disney Plus is straight to DVD territory right now.
I would still, though, recommend just watching it at least once. Just watch it once, see what your take is on it afterwards, and then that's it. This is not something I think anyone would feel probably to rewatch over and over and over again. I feel like the animated movie has more replayability than this one.
And I think that's why I give it a red card, because I'm like, don't watch this shit. Watch the original.
If you're not a big fan of Pinocchio and the animated version didn't attract you, this one would not attract you whatsoever.
So yeah, you're saying the same thing I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, but sure, like, if you don't give a shit and you still want to watch a Disney movie, yeah, watch it.
I mean, at this point, if you've seen every live-action Disney movie,
Why
you
not
have
just
no
watch it?
choice to watch
If you have
it.
Disney Plus, cool.
Okay,
watch
since
it.
you brought so Disney Plus, here's a quote, and we know Disney Plus on its own is $8 a month, right? Is that still accurate? Someone fact check me on that one.
I thought they
Yeah.
jumped the price, or is this
I think
after the price jump?
Is it not? Is it $10 a month?
Fact check, hold on.
So
Because it did
now
jump.
this is because of content wise. We're still getting a shit ton of Marvel. We're getting a shit ton of Star Wars.
I'm not here, man. I fell asleep.
we got a lot of
I fell
movies.
asleep.
So you don't agree with the statement that Disney Plus is underpriced?
You said underpriced?
Yeah. There's a quote out there. I don't know who made the quote. I can't confirm.
Maybe I did, and I didn't put my name on it.
But we're
$8 a month.
We're just gonna say, okay, so $8 a
You're
month
rounding up.
plus tax, so
$7.99. You're
$8.40,
rounding up to
$8.48.
$8.
I don't know.
That's fine.
$8.48.
I don't know.
$8.48
No, eight,
times
just eight.
12, right, for a year. $100 for a whole entire year of Disney Plus.
Okay, so the quote out there that's going around right now is that Disney Plus is underpriced, meaning that it should be costing more than what it is right now.
But also, No. Let me preface real quick. Not on that. Whoever wrote that maybe worked for Disney so they could raise the price. I'm just saying that.
It doesn't
Real
matter.
quick.
The quote is out there. Just
it's a weird
off that
phrasing.
sentence. No, it's not.
It's a weird phrase.
No, it's not. Do you think Disney Plus should be worth more? Yes or no?
But if I say
No,
yes,
no.
in
No,
my theory,
no. Disney Plus is $8 a month. Look at all the content it has right now. Whether you think it's a lot or little, is it worth $8, or should it be worth more, or should it be worth less?
But what I'm telling you,
there's no but.
But what I'm telling you is, if I say yes, then Disney's like, ooh, we can raise it.
No, we're not talking to Disney.
Exactly.
Mickey
but
Mouse
this
is like maybe 20 miles down that way for all I give a shit.
But the thing,
no,
the phrasing
it's not.
is,
No.
they're
I'm
allowed
not
to raise it
asking
more.
you in front
I'm
of a
telling
business
you.
meeting.
Don't ask me. I'm telling you.
I'm asking you, is
But
$8 enough for Disney Plus, or do you think it should be worth more or less?
I'm going to say the same thing that I just said again. I'm telling you, that phrasing means that people will say more, and then they'll be okay with raising it more. And like,
that's irrelevant to the
it's
point
not.
of the
That's
question.
the question you just said.
I'm not asking, oh, hey, by the way, Disney, I'm an insider, so I'll get the info. Ham, do you think it's worth more?
You think they're not going to look at that?
No.
Yes or no? Do you think they're not going to look at that?
Listen, to the amount of listeners we have on this podcast, ain't going to worth shit to Disney. So,
that's true.
Mike,
but
answer my question. Do you think
not the
$8
question.
is enough?
What's the
Well, no, here's
what
the question.
What the fuck are you guys arguing about?
So the double question is, did you just bring this up, or is it online? Then people will see that, not on the podcast. Is this just your question, or is it out there already?
Both, because we brought this up before. You've always said from the beginning that there's not enough content on Disney Plus. Now we've had almost 3 years worth of shit coming out. Whether it's you want
said shit.
Yeah, this guy. Whether you want to say, oh, it's just Star Wars or it's just Marvel, it's still Disney Plus content. It's now $8 a month. Sure, let's just assume the worst, $10, right? Because we're gonna see a price hike, I'm sure, in the next few months.
Yeah.
$10 a month, Mike. Do you think it's still worth $10 a month? Do you think it's too much, or do you think we're actually getting a good deal and they could have probably charged another $1 or $2?
I think honestly we're getting a great deal.
I would agree too.
Because Ham, before you say anything, right?
I don't say shit. I just am saying.
No, I know,
is this
no.
real
Don't
question?
forget, Willow's still coming out.
He's like, damn, you know what? This is a good price.
But I'm saying though, is that his question or something?
We've
that's put
always
on the
talked
internet?
about this, just never phrased this
No,
way.
no, no.
What I'm
But-
saying
but-
is it already out on that question is out on the internet?
Yes,
or did
like-
you
The
just,
the statement that was made
it's already out.
was
there.
that this person that made this claim says that Disney Plus is actually underpriced.
Which that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah.
That sounds like something someone put out. So when they raise the price,
but that doesn't mean that this conversation never happened off of that.
No. Let me. Well, that's what I'm saying. I just feel. I will answer the question, of course, but I feel like that's someone maybe in the Disney whatever trying to be like, so if we raise it, then you won't feel bad that they raised it.
That could have just been the person that runs the mobile app and was like, "Damn, we only still charging $8."
That's what I'm
shit?
saying. I feel
Should we change the coding?
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That question is like a survey, a general
right.
survey. Is
Ham,
like,
just answer the fucking question.
yeah, but I'm gonna answer it either way. Like I said, but I'm saying it's
Yeah.
a weird, like it's just a weird phrasing. That's what I'm trying to say.
So I did some math right now.
Yeah.
Right, and I checked out right now of how many subscribers are right now for Disney Plus, because I think right now in the year of the third quarter,
All right. They're talking some language here.
there's an estimate of 152 million subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So each month, Disney is getting close to $700 million
Nice.
on these subscribers. And that's not including the $12 a month bundle.
I don't know how to calculate that. Yeah.
But still, though, I'm still going to say, compared to Peacock and Paramount Plus...
you want to get Tubi in there too?
No, because they're $5.
I don't think they're... okay,
Just
so...
upgrade $3 more.
Okay, no. Okay,
well, real quick,
no,
if you...
no.
those are not worth it.
Put it this way: would you rather pay $12 for a movie ticket to go see Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, or just pay the $8 a month and see it as many times as you fucking want at the comfort of your own home? No, just answer that fucking question. Don't go into your fucking bullshit.
I got Regal Pass.
No,
so
don't go into that bullshit.
You can't
How
put
much is
that
Regal
question
Pass?
out.
How much is Regal Pass?
21.
Oh, more than fucking Disney Plus.
Yeah, but I don't have to be stuck with Disney things.
What?
I can watch Universal stuff. I can watch Paramount stuff.
How many times have you gone to the movie theater this week? This month, September.
Can I use your pass this month?
What did I see?
I don't think
I saw some movies, man. I don't know.
Oh, body.
Let's go back to the
Your
original
argument is
question.
irrelevant.
Let's go back to the original question.
Okay.
Yes, I do think it's worth it, but also the quality I don't think is as good as...
So you think it's just worth the $8, no more, no less? Just answer the fucking question,
Let
man.
me think! This guy not let me think!
Okay.
I think it is definitely worth it, so it's not less.
Okay.
So we can start at medium.
So do you think it's worth more? However you want to define, if you want to define more as 10 cents more, that's up to you.
With the content they are releasing now, I would say yes, it is worth more.
Was
All right.
that so hard
Let
to say?
me think. This guy, I'm trying to think, and this guy don't let me think.
But the thing is this too. Do you think...
I think the quality is not as good as
Sure.
movie based.
I mean, Becky wasn't as quality good either, but we still watched that
we
shit.
can
But
agree on that.
do you think having Disney Plus is more worth it than having a Netflix?
Ooh.
That's a better question. Yeah, it is a better question.
I would say, okay, so I'll answer this one. I only say yes because I feel like, because I've grown up with what a lot of right now what Disney owns, Boy Meets World especially, there's a lot more stuff for me to rewatch on Disney Plus than it is for me on Netflix.
Ham?
like I said, the only thing I've rewatched on
$17
Disney
versus $8.
I would even define rewatch as like whatever you leave in the background, even if you just listen to it.
I've only watched the Flight of the Navigator on Disney that was old catalog. Again, I was as I was trying to play the drunk Sal here. Netflix does have more. It's not just Disney. There's different companies, but Netflix is how much now?
They're like it's close to $20 a month,
Shit.
and there still hasn't.
I think
put
if you
in-
do like just the one user, right, just the one
No, I
profile.
don't got that one user.
That's what I'm saying. If you just do the one profile, I think it's like 12 or 13 a month.
do you think it's worth paying $13 versus $8
I think Disney Plus has a better value than Netflix does.
at this point?
I
I'm
will.
going
I
with
will
Disney
say
Plus.
this: that Netflix has sure a better variety of shit.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm gonna make sure that when I say shit,
I'm
it's
gonna
the
go
literal
even.
word of shit.
I'm
like,
gonna go even.
Okay, I'll say this though: if it wasn't for Stranger Things,
That's a different story. If they did not
then
have
that's not
something.
even. That's
That's
not
not
even.
even.
Well, I'm saying if Disney didn't have any
No.
new Marvel shows,
That's like
not.
that's like saying
You can't-
Disney doesn't exist. Then
Oh, that's on your term. I'd watch Willow, man. That's on you.
this guy with fucking Willow, man. I swear, he's like,
But-
where's
Only
Willow?
because-
Where's Willow? Disney
What happened
wanted-
if Disney had
Willow
Spider-
could be on
yeah.
Tubi.
Yeah.
And
What happened if Disney had
$20 a
Spider-Man?
month? Yeah.
What happened if Disney had Spider-Man or Netflix had Spider-Man?
Okay,
You know what
no,
I mean?
no, no. But the thing is,
That's
is that
different.
well,
I
okay.
bought the DVD, so who cares?
Fuck it, I see Tobey Maguire anytime.
So because I say even, I think Netflix has mediocre shit, whereas
Shit,
Disney
at best.
Yeah, Disney has mediocre shows.
At minimum.
She-Hulk.
I can't wait till we get into that
that's
conversation.
that's why I say even, but because Netflix has different companies, not just Disney stuff, you have different titles, and you know, shit, they got shows, man.
They got gargoyles.
Oh,
I didn't
who
watch
has
it.
Deadpool?
I don't.
That's
oh,
your argument,
I guess,
though.
yeah.
Hey, that's the only argument I can need.
Might as well bring up
now-
Dark Phoenix while you're
now-
at it.
Oh shit!
Now-
Netflix, Netflix.
But now, if we talk about Disney and Hulu, that is such a better deal.
Sure.
Such a fucking better deal.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Like if we,
Okay,
no, I'm saying
bundle.
if
How
we-
much is the bundle? $12.99?
I'm saying such a better fucking deal. Yes.
Yeah.
You said Disney, motherfucker. Hulu,
Yeah, but Disney is $8.
yes, and then Hulu's only
$8.
$12.
No, Disney and Hulu combined together because that's the bundle is $12.
That's what I'm saying. That's a better deal.
But the thing is that like that's already a better deal than fucking Netflix.
I agree. That's what I'm saying.
Watch The Patient. It's a really
Yeah.
good show with Steve Carell and Hulu.
I don't know what that is,
The
man.
Patient is a serial killer.
All right, let's just okay. So Ham says that Disney Plus
I
is the
say
best
get
streaming
Disney
service
and
ever.
Hulu.
No, Ham says Disney Plus is the best streaming service ever. All right.
Yes,
All right.
yes, yes. And
Let's talk really quick video games. So that was it with Pinocchio. Let's
Really
talk video
quick,
games.
fuck.
Yeah, there was a lot of events that happened. I'm the only one.
Red
The only one that watched them. There was a Nintendo Direct. There was a Ubisoft Forward. There was a PlayStation State of Play, and then there was a What was the last thing? I said?
Direct,
I already said that one.
Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox portion of the Tokyo Game Showcase. Nintendo Direct. If you love farming games, you'll love this Nintendo Direct because that's the meme right now is that there's a lot of farming games on there.
Farming?
Yeah, like grow these crops.
Okay, I thought you meant
Use
like
these
actually.
resources. You get to dress up as hillbilly hick over here and then go out and actual farm him.
Oh,
yeah.
didn't they
Hey, there's a
announce,
farm simulator.
But didn't
The
they
biggest-
announce
the big-
Pikmin?
You remember that thing on Facebook? That
They
farming
announced
game?
they announced Pikmin 4 is in development. It's actually coming out early next year. That was a big thing.
No Metroid.
Yeah, sure. I think a lot of people. I was gonna save this conversation for last. I just wanted to mention this really quick. So everyone's been complaining a lot about these games and the lack of development, how there's things missing. The biggest thing
We
that
talked about that, I thought.
Ham and I especially have complained about is Halo and how it's missing a shit ton of stuff and how it doesn't feel like it's fully complete. And I think what Nintendo is doing, and people are not acknowledging it, is that if you've noticed that ever since the pandemic started, at the beginning of the Direct, they always stated, due to COVID-19, so-and-so development of this, so-and-so development of that has been affected and impacted. Which, a lot of people are complaining this last Nintendo Direct was very mediocre at best. Either they thought it was okay, or they just fucking hated it. But I feel like Nintendo is just being straight up honest at this point. Like, yeah, COVID-19 is still something that we're dealing with, and it's impacting how we develop games, which is why so many games have been delayed. Whereas opposed to PlayStation and Xbox, they're like, well, we're not going to acknowledge COVID-19, But hopefully you like the games we put on anyway, because we know you've been itching for games. And then it becomes incomplete, and it just feels like shit at that point. So, whatever hate you want to give Nintendo, at least they're just being straight up honest and saying, hey, don't get your expectations high. We've been backed up for so long because, people have been through some shit. So you'll get the games when we say you get the games.
Yeah.
So, I'll leave it at that, but...
It's just expectations are too high.
Yeah, I think people, and I'm one of them, like, I'm itching for games, but just recently, like, because of Games Pass, I'm okay now because there's so many games I'm playing.
What I think Nintendo needs again, another live stream of Post Malone. I think that will save everything.
Anyway, the biggest announcement that came out of Nintendo Direct was the Breath of the Wild sequel, Tears of the Kingdom. They didn't show much more of it, just like maybe a minute at most new footage of it, and that they just revealed the title and that it's coming out in May. Pikmin 4 was another big one that a lot of people did not expect. For people that buy into the $80 a year online expansion thing, some more N64 games are coming out. So they announced Pilot Wings, Extreme Bike, Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2, a few Mario Party games, but they ended that segment with GoldenEye 64 coming
Pokemon
out.
Stadium. How am I going to get my Game Boy thing up there?
Don't be one of those people. Don't be one of those people.
I'm joking, but I'm sure that's a question.
Oh yeah, no. A lot of people are like, "What the fuck is going on? How could I not get my Pikachu into this? Whatever." GoldenEye 64, which is coming out on that Nintendo Switch Online expansion. It's gonna be split screen, but it's also gonna be online multiplayer.
Oh,
which is pretty fucking sweet. Now, here's a plot twist, though.
You're gonna play with Post Malone.
So it's
is also
so after the direct happened, Rare, which is the developer of GoldenEye, made the formal announcement like, "Hey, GoldenEye 64 is coming back. We're gonna put it on Switch and we're gonna put it on Xbox, and it's gonna come out on Xbox Games Pass. And it's gonna run on 4K. It's gonna run 1080p,
goddamn.
faster frame rates. But the weird thing is, no online multiplayer
On Xbox.
on Xbox.
Ooh, they fucked
Just
up.
on Switch?
Yeah, which is so bizarre to me. Like, I don't understand that, because I feel like of all, like, Xbox would be the one to do the multiplayer for. I could understand you don't do it on Switch, but you do it for Xbox. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense.
Well,
Wait,
no,
time out. Time out. Pause.
Oh, you're actually pausing?
No.
Alright. Yo, I got...
So, they announced the GoldenEye on the Switch
Yeah.
Direct. But then Xbox later on said, yeah, we're going to have it in Games Pass.
Yeah.
Do you think Xbox and Nintendo is partnering up?
Maybe.
This is not the first time?
So I don't know if there is some sort of partnership going on with that. I just think it's weird. I don't know what's going to come out of it, but a lot, there's some upset fans that are like, why can't I, like, sure, I can get this for free on Games Pass, but I can't play online.
Do you think it's like an exclusive?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I hope Xbox comes out with a statement about that. But, I mean, there was nothing else much out of the Nintendo Direct for it. It was mild. I'm going to say that. It was mild.
No Super Smash Brothers? No Pokemon?
No, they're no Super Smash Brothers. Pokemon, they've already had their own separate Directs for and stuff like that. There was no Mario game other than Mario and Rabbids, which, sure, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, PlayStation State of Play. All right, now the Ubisoft forward. No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
literally.
Ubisoft, PlayStation.
When I thought about that earlier, I was like, okay, when we talk about PlayStation State of Play, God of War was the only thing I remembered.
And the controller.
And they released the controller for it.
I'm buying it even though I don't have PS5.
Can you use it on a PS4?
No, that's a good question.
No,
you can't, because it's built different. I'm not just saying that because I'm saying that. Like, it literally is built different.
I got you. No, I'm saying. Wow.
But I'm buying it even though I don't have a PS5.
What?
I'm buying the controller.
They started off with an announcement for Tekken, and I think they showed off Street Fighter in this one. I don't know.
Do they have a controller?
There was some more VR shit that was shown.
They have their own.
Harry Potter.
Whoa. What is going on with that
There's your
shit?
reason for buying a PlayStation 5, maybe.
No, they have it for PlayStation 4.
Well, Harry Potter is getting an exclusive mission and shit for a
Just
year.
a mission.
For a year on PlayStation in general. I guess in general, I don't know.
Yeah, what about PlayStation 4? If that's not on PlayStation 4, I'm gonna be pissed because, well, I still now have time to play the new Xbox game.
What if they come out with like a Harry Potter themed PlayStation 5?
Nah, you fuck about that. I'm not paying that.
It's a sorting hat. But there was nothing that stuck out from the state of play.
The controller.
No.
For a console you don't own. That's why they sold the controller, not the console. They're like, we don't even have consoles for this.
Okay, so
They thought about me.
Well, I don't know if this is letting you go or not. Maybe I'll let you slide. But I did buy a.
The control's not even that cool looking.
No, this was for the Wii
not.
U.
It's
Take
not.
that back.
I won't.
Oh, what happens if it was Halo?
At least
He already
Halo
bought it.
actually has some embellished design. Like there's some like its overall design, not like I'm gonna put a symbol in the middle and then do 2 stripes and then call it a
right.
day.
Sal already bought the.
Didn't Halo do that?
Yeah.
But they just put the 115 on the side of the console.
No, like if you're talking like the Master Chief controller, it's all green. The bumpers and the triggers
Are his
they're
nipples?
black.
Sure.
The analog sticks are like a darker orange. There's a whole there's a whole design of his armor on there.
Yeah,
like they
115.
actually designed the entire controller.
Yeah, Sal just bought. You just told him. Sal just bought the Halo controller for the PS5.
Didn't
Right.
you buy the Halo hard drive?
No, I didn't buy that one. Though.
I'm very surprised.
I was broke at that time.
I
so
told you the deal. There was a deal, but I don't know if it was real.
Yeah, I don't know. If you want to fact check me and see what else came out of the PlayStation thing, but I don't think they didn't show off Spider-Man. They didn't show off, any more of Last of Us. Like I think that's part of the problem of PlayStation is that they've dug themselves a hole with single player games with these like these same iconic games, which are good in their own right.
Oh, Project E.
But
That's good.
but once you don't mention one of them, then it's like, well, this PlayStation State of Play was stupid, or it's not the real showcase. I'm like, I think that's why they stuck in Ragnarok in there. It's like, oh shit, we forgot something. Quick, throw in a game we've already shown.
And a controller.
This guy is a good fucking controller.
Listen, man, I think that controller, to me at least, is fucking cool. I'm going to buy it. Even though I don't have a PS5, I'm going to buy it regardless. I might even buy 2 copies.
Ubisoft Forward.
Oh, sure.
Fast forwarding to the actual end part where it actually mattered. So, because like the Ubisoft stuff, I don't think, they show off Division. There's a mobile version of Division that's coming out. There's no fucking Splinter Cell.
You don't need Splinter Cell.
Fuck you!
Yeah,
I'm going to take your controller and shove it up your ass. How about that?
No worries, I have another
It's shit anyway.
They'll be shit if you do that. I know that much.
Already is. So, fast forward through the Ubisoft Forward. The actual significant thing, which I'm hoping becomes better as the year goes on, is that they're actually finally acknowledging Assassin's Creed as a big franchise. Because in this Ubisoft Forward, they had an Assassin's Creed showcase.
Yeah.
Where it was like
They're going back to Egypt.
where it was like a no, I'm not.
I don't know where the fucking times they're going now.
So it's like its own little mini direct where they're acknowledging here's what's currently happening with Assassin's Creed, here's what else we're doing media wise with Assassin's Creed, some figures and shit, and then here's the future of Assassin's Creed games.
You're telling me this is the first time? Literally, that's their number one stunner, I think.
And they're finally acknowledging that.
Finally? I think we all knew that. We didn't have
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah.
But so like the last maybe 10, almost 15 minutes was like dedicated to just Assassin's Creed. So what they showed off though, they talked about their next mainline entry game, which finally, thank fucking God, they're done doing the RPG bullshit for now. Because they literally came out. They literally came out and said, no. So this next Assassin's Creed is called Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's based in India. It's
India.
And they literally said, we're going back to our roots. We're going to focus on single-player story campaigns. We're going to focus on stealth, and we're going to focus on assassinations. Just like the good old fucking days of Assassin's Creed. None of this Odyssey and Valhalla bullshit.
And Egypt, Origins.
And Origins, yeah. they're literally going back to what Assassin's Creed was. And what's also weird though is that they also showed off other Assassin's Creed games, but they didn't show other, like they just showed the titles, like Hex, Code Red, Jade, like all these other things that somehow interconnect with each other. Well, there's a couple that are mobile games, and there are a couple that are like future mainline entry games. There's one, I think after Mirage, they're going to Japan. Yeah.
I joked about that, yeah.
But I know everyone's been wanting Japan since the fucking second or third Assassin's Creed.
But it was the one.
No, that was China.
I've been dying for Japan since Black Flag.
But I feel like they waited too long because I feel like what's going to happen is people are going to compare it to Ghost of Tsushima, which is going to suck. But, you know, I don't know, unless they actually do something drastically different. But the character designs or the silhouettes very much felt like classic Assassin's Creed, you know, white hood or like robes and shit. Like they're sticking to that, which is great. I don't know if this is actually true, but there's a lot of statements going out there that this next game is actually only going to be $50 and that it's going to be 20 hours of gameplay and that they're sticking to that for right now.
That's fine with me.
Which is great.
It's great. As long as it's
20
great.
hours?
I mean, that's long.
That's pretty substantial.
Long.
No, that's pretty substantial.
Long,
that's a good amount.
Listen, I can't fucking stand when people be like 20 hours. What the fuck? Where they're so used to playing 100 hours of gameplay of a RPG game.
I don't know how much I played with.
Don't say it.
I'm trying to get through the Horizon, whatever. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Fallout.
No, that's a multiplayer online thing. This is a whatever. I'm probably already put 20. I'll have to check, but
even Horizon, I feel like it's long at some point.
I think the second one is double as long. And I was gonna ask you with the is that counting side quests and everything?
I think so. Yeah. I still think it's fine. 20 hours, that still sounds more enough. And that's just an average, right? So who knows if you take longer or take less? Like, it all depends. But I thought this was, like, for its first time doing this kind of showcase, I thought it was great. I hope they continue to do, like, just Assassin's Creed showcases from here on out. And, like, just making it, like, you know, how Halo does their community updates or how, you know, Nintendo, like, Pokemon does their presents and shit like that. Assassin's Creed, I think, is right up there with them.
So with 20 hours, if it's
he's still on this.
Oh, if it's good gameplay, and then if we're counting like cutscenes, but good gameplay, good cutscenes, I'd be fine with that.
Okay. Gold card. So that was the best thing that came out of Ubisoft for it. I was really happy with that. As an Assassin's Creed fan, I'm glad. Oh,
you mentioned that there might be a connection from the older games, maybe.
No, so they revealed something about Assassin's Creed Infinity, which they just said that this is happening, but they didn't say what it was, and it almost seems like it's like a hub, like a Master Chief collection almost of several Assassin's Creed games that are going to be joining this hub. So I think the next time they do this Assassin's Creed showcase, they'll actually show what that actually is going to be. So I think they're just waiting for this next game to be released, see what the reception is, and then they're going to go forward with how they're going to present it.
Up to 3?
Also, too, they announced a new Assassin's Creed show on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh, the movie, no.
No, what's in the movie? No.
I was like, didn't we?
It's a show. It's going to be a show.
Okay.
On what?
And then
Netflix.
The last thing is the Tokyo Game Showcase, but mainly highlighting the Xbox portion because I think Xbox only had a showcase there. I could be wrong. I don't know. That's the only one that stands out.
Tokyo Game Show?
Tokyo Game Showcase has always been a thing. And it's always been Xbox's or Microsoft's opportunity to try to get into the Japanese market.
Okay.
They had a little mini presentation there. It was like maybe 30 minutes long. Showed off a lot of really cool Japanese games. So that's their point, is like they want to show off what Japanese developers have been doing with their console because they've always struggled in the Japanese market.
Of PlayStation, I guess, maybe?
Well, because PlayStation is already Japanese.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The opposite then, right?
So,
yeah.
What I will say for this, and this is completely biased because I don't see PlayStation doing this as much. I think they're like, you know, yeah, of course we have Japanese developers. We're a Japanese console. Where Xbox is like, yeah, we're trying to make sure we highlight Japanese developers because all the games that they showed in that showcase were beautiful. Like, despite like what whether you like RPGs or not, I don't think there's no denying that Japanese developers are probably the best developers in video game marketing. And I think maybe that's because they have the technology and they're very excelled in that kind of thing.
Developers, I'm like artists.
But like,
you mean maybe?
maybe, but like, there was not a game in that entire. Sorry. There was not a game in that entire showcase where I was like, I don't want to play that. Every game I was like, I want to play that. Like, I want to check that out. I was glad to hear that Ayunin Chronicles, the actual main game, is going to be coming to Game Pass. Cool. I'm already set up for that.
You already played
I played the prequel mini game of it. The main actual game that is supposed to be spearheading the whole thing is coming out in Games Pass soon.
Oh, so you didn't even know it was coming out?
No, yeah, it was never really confirmed it was going to come to Games Pass, but they confirmed it right then and there. There's a couple of games I was like, yeah, I want to check that out, and that are actually launched right now on Games Pass. What did stick out to me, which was, well, yeah, that too, but that wasn't in the showcase. What stuck out to me, which was really weird, I think it's because it's only an RPG-based game, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is on Games Pass.
I didn't see that. Who mentioned that?
Probably me.
Okay,
Probably.
It's on Games Pass now, which is cool for me because I don't have to buy the game. I can just play it off Games Pass. I just had to buy the DLC, which currently
I'm not buying no DLC.
all the Assassin's Creed games are actually on sale right now for like a pretty good prices until the 19th.
Ubisoft event.
Yeah.
All those up for $20 right now.
God damn.
I think 20, 25 for like the whole fucking package too.
The DLC?
Yeah. So, yeah, so that was like, it was really weird, but I think it's because it's an RPG based game. Odyssey is on.
I'm saying Val.
Maybe, I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was. I think they had a really good showcase. There's a lot of games I want to try. Like, I actually want to rewatch it and just start making a backlog of like, I want to try this game. Right now, I'm actually playing A Plague's Tale, Innocence, the rats.
Oh, okay.
You remember the kid that had like the torch and the rats would like scatter across from the front? It's like a stealth-based game. You talked about it before. I'm playing the first one because it's actually leaving Games Pass soon, but the sequel is coming out next month, and I think that's why it's leaving Games Pass soon. Nice. So I want to try to finish that and then play the sequel when that comes out. Sonic Frontiers is coming out. Pokemon is coming out.
On Games Pass?
Yeah, on Games Pass. No, not true.
Yeah.
Not sponsored. There's just a shit ton of games where I'm like, yeah, I think because we're not getting big hits, like another new fucking Mario game or not a Last of Us or not a, I don't know, not a good Halo game or whatever. Like,
Post Malone.
I think people have got to stop thinking about these, like, these big title franchises, let them rest and, recuperate. And focus on these new up and coming games that people haven't been given a chance.
But you can when you have Game Pass. If you don't,
well, then you're just a PlayStation owner.
True.
Or having expectations so high.
But that was it. I mean, I think it was really cool week and a half for games because that all happened this past 1 or 2 weeks. So it was just crazy. A lot of stuff coming out. And that's it. That wraps it up. We're done. We're good. That's it. Nothing more. Shut up, Ham. Disney Plus is worth it. Mike, do that thing you're supposed to do.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be posting the controller. You let me know what you think about it.
Nope.
I'm gonna take some modeling.
$80 controller.
Send me
you're never gonna use.
Send me your prayers.
Send him some money.
Send me some money too. But yeah, follow us on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and then write us an email of what other control designs you guys have. I might end up buying them, even though I don't own the console. At drunkcop.ateacher@gmail.com. Any last words, guys? Besides, help me get the controller.
Let's go drinking.
Don't buy the controller.
Fuck you. I want the controller.